Welcome to Man Matters Podcast, where combat sports, mindset, and real life lessons collide. Hosted by Derving and Nate, we dive into jiu-jitsu, wrestling, MMA, and the grind that shapes athletes inside and outside the mat. Every episode we bring stories, strategies, and raw conversations that fuel growth, resilience, and community. Stay tuned because it's more than a fight, it's a lifestyle. What's going on, combat sports fan? Welcome back to another massive episode of the podcast. I'm your host, Derving. Sitting across me, figuratively speaking, always my partner in crime, Nate. Nate, I hope you slept. I hope you're hydrated because we have just witnessed what might go down the most surreal, historic, and downright violent weekend in the history of mixed martial arts. We're breaking down the absolute fallout of UFC Freedom 250. Yes, the octagon was set up right there on the White House South Lawn. The outdoor elements were wild. The claw, the structural rig was holding it all together. In the fights, absolutely pure chaos. In the main event, the ultimate violence metronome did it again. The highlight. Justin Gaethje defies the odds at 37-year-olds, derails an undefeated phenom, and takes the undisputed lightweight strap. We're diving deep into the Ilia Topuria corner stoppage, the momentum shift in the third round, and that exactly what is this legendary win does for Gaethje's all-time legacy. But that wasn't the only shocker in DC. In the common event, Alex Pereira, audacious quest to become the UFC first ever three-division champion, came to a grinding, brutal halt. Ciryl Gane put on an absolute striking defense masterclass, neutralizing the legendary left hook and stopped Poatan in the second round to capture the interim heavyweight title. Let's talk about Gane's flawless footwork and finishing flurry in his immediate call-out of Tom Aspinall. Plus, you've got to talk about Diego Lopes coming off a wild weekend where he weighed in twice. I know you know about this, but he weighed twice because he was also considered the backup for the lightweight championship. He kicked off the card by fighting through pure adversity against Steve Garcia. Garcia took the first round and Lopes bit down the mouthpiece and landed a devastating left hook in the second and was sworn for a spectacular knockout. How's it going, man?
It's going good. Are we?
Doing good, man. It's been a crazy packed weekend. This is the card that had all of them were finishes. Apparently, according to what I was talking about during this card, from top to bottom, all finishes, starting from Diego Lopes all the way to the end. But we can start with the main event of Ilia Topuria versus Gaethje. What do you think about that doctor stoppage between round 3 and 4? Remember that they were asking about his eye?
About the doctor pausing it and almost stopping?
Yeah.
Or
he said like stop it, but then he like
yeah, I thought it was weird that he kind of like took it back, but yeah, it's got to be a hard call. I mean, I fully believe he could have been, not seeing out of that eye. The stakes in that match though are so high. Like I don't know. That's a hard one.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Topuria was starting to break at that point and was thinking he wanted to get out. Because he mentioned that, right? He mentioned he couldn't see.
Yeah, he said that he can see. I can see. But at first I thought maybe he got blood in his eye. That's why he can see because of the blood in his eye rather than nerve damage.
Yeah, it could be.
Boom. I don't know if you see this. He's a YouTube. Well, he's not a YouTuber. He's actually a real doctor. Brian Sutter. He does a lot of reacting to different sports injuries. He talks about why he will never do one of those jobs as a ringside referee, because as you're a doctor, you usually try to protect your patients and try to prevent them from injury, and you're ethically are not doing that right. You're telling them to go back in there and get hurt even more in the same place that he tried to help him heal. So as a doctor, from a doctor's perspective, he can say, okay, yeah, stop the fight because he's going to get more damage in there. He's going to give him worse if he's not able to see. And the thing was, because it's not the first fighter that happened to. Remember what he did to Tony Ferguson? He fractured his orbital bone from hitting him so hard. Usually whenever that happens, the floor of your eye, this is the optical nerve, get damaged or gets disturbed. That's why you lose vision in the eye. And then I saw later on the round, in fourth round, he did another uppercut, and you see the bone sticking out right here.
Okay.
Yeah, because I thought at first it was a hematoma, but then he's like, no, that's like the bone sticking off, probably a fracture over the bone. How hard does Gaethje have to fucking hit, man?
Dude, that's pretty crazy how hard he hits. I mean, my God.
He throws punches like he throws a baseball, just swinging across the field, and throws everything out into him. But yeah, and then I mean the next round, that's what he was stoppable. Also, there's a compound of damage of because it was that and also the knee to the ribs. You see the rib?
Yeah.
You see just ribs just fold out.
That on top of everything else is, dude, I cannot even imagine the kind of pain he was in.
Yeah.
Truly.
Whenever
That's
they did a replay, do you ever play Mortal Kombat? Whenever they used to do the fatality, you see just like
no.
dude, like I think it was like 2010 or something like that. They used to do like X-ray of the damage that you will do to your opponent whenever you did a fatality. You see their ribs just breaking and cracking. That's what it looked like when they did it in slow motion. I was like, can you imagine taking that thing?
No.
And it depends what you're breathing in or breathing out. Because you're breathing out, you take that. He was having a hard time standing up after that. But
I would think. I would think he would.
Dude, but and then in the fifth round, I do not blame his brother. I think Alexander was the one that called it. Alexander Topuria wants to call it off because I heard him stop, but then I heard somebody like, no, let him finish the fight. I heard somebody else saying he's going to let him finish the fight. But I don't know who said that. And then Mark Gutter, he's like, that's it. Because
such a crazy.
Yeah, because I mean, you already had the doctor say no, but they're like, oh no. Somebody said in the comments, I've seen videos like, yeah, Mark Gutter, he made a business decision on the spot. It was so much ethical when it was taking care of the fighters, and more of a business decision when it comes to his gambling habits. Like, no, keep going. Because he called, I don't know if it's a different doctor or he was a translator, the other guy that he brought in next to the doctor. Because they talk about like when they did the overall, like the eye test, you should try to see if you're able to get any movement or you're able to see anything. And after that, try to see how your eyes dilate and stuff like that, see how much damage is. But you cannot see it on the spot in there because it's too much swollenness on the side. So you cannot do that kind of test in there. And you're freaking hyper, like adrenaline, you're high dilated in your eyes are going to be that kind of situation. And also his eyes full of blood. So it's hard to see it too. But do not blame his brother for calling the fight. No. But I took some notes in here about the fight, about how trying to break down how Gaethje was able to implement his plan. Because Topuria's mainly his entire game relies on linear pressure, just backing up his opponent, going forward. And then you remember the high guard, going forward. He was respecting most of Gaethje's punches at the beginning because he was covering up. But what Gaethje was able to do was he flipped the script by using strictly lateral footwork mechanics during the fight. In round one, whenever Topuria tried to step deep into his lead leg to lock Gaethje in place, and you see him like just hopping like a starter steps, Gaethje will utilize a pivot and check hook sequence. So he will plant his lead leg and pivot and rotate his hip 90 degrees clockwise. So as he was coming, he'll to catch him, and then he'll drop to the left shoulder on the weak side of Topuria. So he get out of the power hand. So he throw it. So he can try and miss the timing of Topuria. In the opening frame, Gaethje used the exact pivot mechanics to load his rear hip. So whenever you do that, and he on court, that's why he did the uppercut, and he cut Topuria's eye. That's the initial cut that he had. Because I know Topuria, he has a bad cut on his right, not his right, but his left eye. We've seen during an interview, you see the scar tissue right here. He had to have some stitches here. That's what I thought he cut first whenever he did the uppercut, but it's the other eye. But by forcing Topuria to constantly turn his torso to adjust, Gaethje was able to strip away Ilia's ability to sit down in his power punches. Every time he'll do that, he'll miss his timing. Now, in the second round, that's when Gaethje had to weather the storm. Topuria was able to adjust beautifully in the second round by targeting his midsection. And he used the changing levels to drive heavy hooks straight into Gaethje's liver and floating ribs. By mechanically body shots like that forced involuntary contraction of the diaphragm and caused sudden drop of blood pressure. That's why you see just folding whenever he had him. And that body investment directly allowed Topuria to change level, and he was able to finish a blast double leg on Gaethje, and then he was able to get him down. He was handed for submission. I see him go for an armbar at one point. Then he switched it to a triangle, trying to finish it. And he lost balance, and that's why he was able to Gaethje to come out of the back and finish. But after that, he was able to, if I remember correctly, he finished in half guard, Gaethje's half guard, just to wait for the time to run out in there. I can't remember it was in this one, the third round, the technical judgment that won Gaethje the undisputed title. Remember, Whitman clearly told him, stay off the mat, stop running, and use his own momentum against him. Because he was backing up Gaethje, because whenever Topuria does, he was to back you up into that cage. And you see Gaethje, when his feet were planted against that cage, that's why he was getting those body shots. Boom, boom. He was to unload him. But the adjustment that they did on the third round was exploring the monocular vision, because Topuria's right eye was heavily swollen and bleeding in from the round one cut. His peripheral vision on that side was clearly compromised. So Gaethje systematically began circling to Topuria's blind right side. Even though his power hand, if he was to be able to get a good distance, he would get out of range for him. Also, I think Topuria grew frustrated by beginning overextending his heavy right hand because he was out of range for him to compensate for the distance. But Gaethje kept his posture upright and weight distributed 50-50 over his hips, executed beautiful slip counters. One thing I remember, somebody posted a video of a tutorial of the dude, or like a not tutorial, but so much instructional on striking Ciryl Gane. It teaches Gaethje to low down, like he's throwing an uppercut, but he goes over the top and throws a straight. So whenever you usually waiting for the uppercut, so you come a little bit like high, and that's why it lands over the top. He's the longer guy. He got a longer reach. That's able to catch Topuria in there. In the kinetic chain, as Topuria lunges forward, Gaethje will slightly slip his head off the center line to the left and catching Topuria on the shin with short, compacted counter hooks. Because Topuria was moving forward while Gaethje's counter was rotating inward, the force of impact was double, utilizes Topuria's own kinetic energy against him. So he was just walking into those punches, which Topuria likes going forward. Most of the time, he feels more comfortable there. Not a lot of people can fight backwards.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it keeps momentum in your favor whenever you're backing somebody down.
Yeah, and they said usually it's a lot. You use more energy running backwards than running forward.
Good point as well.
But that's what Gaethje was able to not let him implement the game boss, getting off the. I heard that saying, get off the verbal tracks. Yeah, I said that in wrestling, whenever you're going to get somebody and they have a blast double, jump to either side. Jump to the side. Don't just stay there, wait for them to shoot for you to sprawl. The best defense is you not being there. How about that? Instead in front of them. But that's what Gaethje was doing, was getting off the center line against Topuria. I can't remember, somebody was saying, I was talking to somebody in this, like, why does he go for the finish? Like, dude, he's still bouncing. He's still explosive. Topuria is still able to catch you with anything. You can just finish him on the spot. So by the fourth round, Topuria's structural posture was completely broken. He was reaching with his punches, his chin was up, and his lead leg was heavily compromised. In the final sequence, Gaethje counter punching completely forced Topuria to second guess his entries. When Topuria hesitated on the entry late in the fourth, Gaethje timed a devastating compact uppercut that shot straight through the middle of Ilia's high guard. That's what he's known for, throwing his high guard elbows out. Immediately followed with a brutal tie clinch knee to the solar plexus. So that's what he dropped him on the with a knee. But mechanically, Topuria was spent. His vision was gone on one side, and his core was shattered from the knee. And the technical attribution is exactly what his corner looked at him on the stool before the fifth and was to call it off. Topuria fight like an elite boxer who expects you to break under his pressure. Gaethje didn't try to outbrawl him early. He used angular footwork to slice open the cut and survive brutal body assaults in the second, and used short kinetic counter striking to dismantle a champion who literally could not see the punches coming out of all the damage. But he does this to everybody. Gaethje. See their faces?
Well, I thought it was pretty interesting that, the commentators were saying in that division, when they asked all like the older retired guys, who hits the hardest, everybody said Gaethje.
Yeah. He has the ism with him, the ism power, because he's reckless. And he's immigrants of Mexican and German. What a combination. Just violent. And the violent sport that he enjoys. He's even during the coverage of the event, I think it was Andy was said that he made a decision that he knew that he was going to lose when he came to the UFC. And if he wasn't going to lose, it was going to be by knockout, because that's why he was going to go and leave it all out there. And he came with the same idea of coming in there. I mean, did you see that walkout, the song that he walked out to? Ain't No Grave by Johnny Cash. Ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. He's ready to die.
I mean, clearly he was. It really is interesting to see the difference, because everybody knows he's had so many exciting fights. He's had so many like bangers. He's been so beat up before. To survive round 2 was amazing. I thought he was done.
Damn, me too.
Those body shots were insane. You could hear them loud and clear. And I truly thought he was going to cave, but he didn't good. I don't know how many people could have taken that, to be honest.
Yeah, like, even the one before that one, Alex Pereira, whenever he went down, he was trying to wrestle. He was having a hard time. You saw the finishing sequence, but he was able to find a way to scramble out of there, even in a bat, because scrambling is hard. Imagine scrambling whenever your torso hurts like hell. Scramble around. Do you think Topuria should let him stand up in that instance?
It would seem like it, yeah. I feel like that was kind of Topuria was getting tired, and I feel like he wanted to make Gaethje more tired by holding him down, because I mean it is more tiring to be the one being held down. But yeah, it does seem like more damage was done standing up. And maybe it really felt like Topuria was expecting to finish in that round, and he gave it all he got, because I felt like also round 3 he was tired. I felt like he was coming, moving differently by round 3 after that big beating that he just laid down on Gaethje.
Yeah, adrenaline dump too.
Yeah.
One thing also is Topuria trains at sea level in Miami. Gaethje trains at high altitude, I think in Utah or Denver, but he trains at high altitude. So that's a big factor when it comes to fighting. Sweating is not a factor. I mean, that's one thing, like high humidity, how this car is going to be outside. It's all about that. Like, sweating is not a problem. You get used to sweating, but your VO2 max, training at 2 different altitudes, that's different. I mean, he was able to target his torso, but his cardio was able to come on top afterward, especially the recovery part.
Yeah.
What do you think about Gaethje's legacy after winning this at 37 years old? Because he was a 2-time interim champion at lightweight. He's a BMF title holder by knocking out Poirier. And now, finally, was able to become an undisputed lightweight champion. Do you put him in the top 5 lightweights?
So, I would think so. I mean, yeah, just it kind of has always blown my mind that he hasn't had a belt before now, like a title belt. It's not for lack of trying. I feel like every time he's had a match, it's been against somebody who's just crazy good. You know what I mean? It's not he's not shying away from any fights, and I think he's had some of the best out there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, he had two Russians that were in there, and then a Brazilian in Oliveira that were dominant champions whenever he faced them. Makachev and Oliveira. But yeah, man, he deserved that title. I mean, I think it was like 12 out of 13 fights in the UFC were bonus fights.
yeah, exactly. It's he goes and lays it all out there.
Yeah.
I will say too, though, like with his last fights, and I think we talked about it before. You can see his skill has gotten much better as well. His patience has gotten better. He used to just straight out brawl. Now I feel like there's more strategy involved, and he can hit hard. So that's a pretty brutal combo.
Yeah. Yeah. It's terrible coming for your opponent. Good for him, but terrible for
Mm,
other.
yeah. So it is cool to see that as well. I mean, even though you said he's 37.
Yeah.
Yeah, to still be like very visibly improving skill wise is impressive.
Yeah. Somebody that's, I mean, put out all the guys, put three guys out in the world champion: Volkanovski, Holloway, and Oliveira on the path, and undefeated as well. And Topuria. Uh, that was impressive. I was looking here. His bonus for this past weekend, $825,000.
That's good. That's good for him.
Yeah, bonus payout, but it is 425,000 for performance of the night, and final net 400,000, which has to be shared with Ilia Topuria. Now, question: is it gonna be 300 to 100,000 because the winner? It can be 200, 200, right? Final night or the winner, hey, but it pays off to win. Winner, right?
Yeah, right.
But that's just bonus. I can imagine how much he got paid for his regular for the fight itself. It's 825,000. Jeez. Now, another question: do you think he should retire now and live on the top?
That's hard. I don't know. I mean, it would be nice to see him go out on top, but I mean, I feel like he's got more fights in him if he wants them.
Yeah, because he's always so target fixated on becoming the champion. He said that this is going to be his last title run. So whatever he lands, he was going to live with it. They asked him in the cage if he was going to retire. He said he wasn't. He promised his mom that he wasn't going to make a decision that night, but whether win or lose. So because you don't want that to affect your performance either.
Yeah.
But what you call? He has some fights, but who does he have next? Arman is next. Ciryl Gane as a title contender. Paddy Pimblett, will he be go against him? I don't think Michael Chandler is out of the question. But
Yeah, he is.
Rufy is on the way up as well. The one that
Goofy.
he's the one that beat Chandler.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Those filthy spinning heel kicks were filthy and fast against
Yeah,
Chandler.
yeah.
Uh, how many fights do you think he should have left, Gaethje?
I mean, hopefully he's at the end. You know, hopefully he's nearing the end, just for his sake. I mean, I'd love to watch him continue fighting, but
Yeah, he loved fighting.
right, yeah, that's the thing. I don't want it to turn into a Tony Ferguson, but
Yeah,
I'd love to see him keep fighting.
yeah. And he has other things that he likes to do as well. Like I heard that he's pretty good in golf.
Really?
Yeah, I heard that he got like second place or something like that whenever those like celebrities golf tournaments. He had like a car or something that he won in one of those tournaments.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Huh.
he's picked it up about 3 or 4 years ago. Picked up golf.
Wild.
Yeah, he's getting that good. But I'm telling you, that is a man. It comes really handy. You get really good at shit real fast. But look, Gaethje proved that veteran grit and elite evolutionary footwork can completely halt a hype train. But he wasn't the only one resetting expectations on the soft bomb. Let's shift our attention to the co-main event because Alex Pereira walked into the Washington, D.C. looking to make history as a three-division champion. But instead, he ran headfirst into a geometric puzzle named Ciryl Gane. Ciryl Gane, Bonk man, I don't know what that means, but he proved yet again why he belongs in there as a an outstanding heavyweight in there, but the be able to dominate more ton. Uh, Pereira usually standard path to victory relies on planting his weight and throwing devastating low calf kicks and compromising his opponent's mobility. Gane's game plan completely bypassed his threat through high level mechanical positioning. He uses dynamic distancing. Gane stay highly mobile, usually bouncing around. That basketball background seems to be coming handy because he was able to utilizing quick lateral bending to ensure he was never stationary target. When Pereira did land low kicks, Gane kept things fluid by matching them with his own inside leg kicks. I don't know how many times you saw those inside leg kicks they were landing. He was red as hell and preventing the Brazilian from setting into a rhythm. So anytime he will get in there, boom, taking away the front leg. Consider they were one is southpaw, the other one was orthodox. Another thing that he was able to do is able to neutralize the left hook by constantly circling out and utilizing 2-inch reach advantage. Gane was 81, while Pereira was 79. Gane kept himself completely out of the optimal firing arc for Pereira's signature weapon, the short, devastating left hook. That's a good thing. That left hook is good, but it's not full range weapon because you usually torque off the torso, but not full range as your straight. So he was even setting up a trap. So while Gane did end up using heavy grappling, he did not use heavy grappling approach. The trail of it was essential how he altered Pereira's posture. So usually he was doing that takedown thing. You see that he was trying to grab the knee and the head. So late in the first round, Gane initiated a committed takedown attempt. Even though it didn't result in a completion, it fundamentally changed the mechanics of the fight. So to defend against the level change, Pereira had to lower his posture and alter his weight distribution. This forced the kickboxing specialist to respect a secondary layer of danger, slowing down his forward aggression and making him hesitant to throw extended combinations because he had to be heavy on that leg whenever he throwing. Another thing was the snapping lead jab that was able to get the job done. The entire fight turned on Gane's tactical use of a foundational weapon, the straight lead jab. He pops the thing out there. You see him when he throws those. I'm not sure if Gane is right-handed because not Pereira, but Poirier, he's right-handed, but he's southpaw because he uses his power hand in front. Other fighters they use the power hand back. So usually you're right-handed, you're orthodox because you straight is your right hand. So for Poirier, he does the southpaw. I don't know if this is the case of Gane too, because that's a powerful punch. You use your lead hand, that popping jab heavyweight, dude, that will drop you. And the reason why I brought that up because I saw Ciryl Gane speaking of golf earlier. He was swinging because he just got into golf as well. He was in one of the simulator, and he was swinging like a right-handed person.
Interesting.
I can't remember when he was throwing also a football, but I can't remember he was throwing with his right hand. But it doesn't make sense whenever you're karate. Karate people, a lot of them, their lead hand is the power hand, which is the opposite of like Muay Thai and other boxing. Usually the opposite. But early in the second round, as Pereira tried to step forward and apply pressure, Gane stepped slightly off the center line and threw a stiff, blindly fast jab. It got Pereira completely flush, bypassing his defense and dropping the Brazilian to the canvas. Now, the finishing surge, when Pereira miraculously showed the determination to step back up, Gane didn't let him breathe. Recognizing that Pereira's legs were severely compromised and his balance was gone, Gane immediately swarmed with a brutal, relentless wave of unanswered punches and elbow against the fence, forcing her to wave off the contest. Even though Gane had to turn into a wrestler to win this, but his real genius was using his elite footwork to strip away Pereira's calf kick, throwing a fake takedown to drop Pereira's hand, and then letting a beautiful time snapping jab do the heavy lifting. Now, another thing that was controversial about this fight was Pereira was complaining about elbows to the back of the head whenever they were. Did you see that during the fight? What do you think about that?
I do think they were illegal, and I think there was a lot of them. I don't think that would have been if that hadn't happened, I don't think the fight would have gone a different way. So it's a little, I mean, yeah, I know, I think Pereira asked for a rematch immediately, right? But I don't think that changed the whole fight. It may have ended it sooner, but I don't think it changed the result.
No.
But yes, I have to agree. I think those were illegal. I thought that in the moment, and watching quite a few replays about just, throughout people talking about that controversy, it looked pretty illegal.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look at the back of freaking Pereira's head. He's all knotted up.
That's true as well. Yeah, the pictures of the bruises and shit. Like, yeah, that's definitely
Pretty
hard
illegal.
to dispute. Yeah,
Especially, I mean, regular person hurt. Imagine how heavy hitting in the back of the head like that.
right. Yeah,
But yeah, he was compromised. Especially, I was surprised that he was able to drop him with the jab. Because a lot of people they don't think jabs are that hard. They should use it for. You should use them, throw them out there to gauge your range. But he just sit on like boxers. They sit on those jabs because they come in. Usually in MMA, they don't throw them like that because there's a threat of takedown because you're heavy on your foot when you throw it. Bob Pereira is not a single leg or double leg
yeah,
guy.
that's true. Ciryl Gane definitely had that kind of insurance. He didn't really have to worry about that at all. Even if Pereira wanted to take him down, Ciryl Gane's probably more comfortable down there anyway. So,
Yeah. I've seen he had a freaking outside heel hook one time.
oh really?
Ciryl Gane, one his win was an outside heel hook in the UFC. Like,
Wow.
the
Yeah.
fuck?
He's a big dude to be doing that.
Yeah. It's a heavyweight too. Like, yeah, I can't imagine him grabbing your leg like that, torquing it. But now a guy that he did that leaping jab, and he was able to take him down was the GOAT, John Jones. He didn't have the threat in here of getting dropped like that. I think he did it of the same sequence that he was trying to do Alex Pereira. Try and grab the knee, do a knee tap or a knee pick on him. That's what John Jones was able to take him down. I think that's what he was implementing in this game, Ciryl Gane, to be able to get him in danger, make him drop his hand. Now, with Gane claiming the interim title, his immediate caller was Tom Aspinall. I see your boy here, figuratively speaking. Not really your boy, but John Jones posted a picture of him with the gold chain on. It's like, dude, this guy cannot shy away from life, man.
No, he can't.
He will be
I
a
do.
draw.
I feel like this does kind of solve that whole question, the whole Pereira versus Jones. Yeah, I feel like if Gagne beat Alex, then I know there's fighter math, right? But I don't think he would have a chance against Jones.
Jones has a bigger reach.
Yeah, a
What's
bigger reach, more well-rounded. I
and
mean,
high IQ?
yeah, yeah, the high IQ above all, really.
Because Pereira has, I don't know how many fights compared to John Jones. Because he's mainly a striker guy. But I wonder how long will it take for Thomas Bell to come back.
I wonder. Yeah, and will he come back? I don't know. He took a lot of shit for the last fight he had, I think.
Yeah.
Right? It was the eye poke that was his last fight. Yep.
Yeah, well, he was losing the fight. But also going back to the elbows, that's like a cheater thing to do. But also, so was that eye poke against Aspinall. And both of them were done by the same guy, Ciryl Gane. Is that a pattern or it's just accidentally it's the same guy doing?
You got to wonder if it's a pattern. I mean, because the whole thing where Alex warned her Dean about like watch for the back of the head strikes or whatever before that happened, it does make you think it's a pattern.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really, it's the same thing with Chandler.
Yes.
He had plenty of very sketchy fights,
Yeah.
So
Yeah. He's one of those guys that he will not tap. He'll throw the hand up like tap and he just punch you in the face. Well, so
right,
he
right.
gives that kind of energy. what was one of them? But remember that he blew the blood rocket on Dustin Poirier
Yeah.
during the fight. But he considering also that was the night that Alex Pereira fought easy. He must have scored them for the first time in the belt. Both of them in the same car. Alex Pereira and Michael Chandler. What was the thing that he was doing? Was against Oliveira? That he's doing something crazy. He's like wink wink. He was like doing. He didn't mean to do it. He did something.
He fish hooked somebody. I can't remember who that
He was
was.
Dustin Poirier too.
Okay. Yeah.
That's Dustin Poirier was pissed. Not so much of the blood rocket, but that fish hook thing.
Yeah.
Which that's pretty transparent when somebody does the fish hook. That's a shitty thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what you're doing at that point.
Yeah. You don't accidentally fish hook somebody. Terrible person.
Really? Yeah.
Another heavyweight title, no, not heavyweight match that happened that night was Derek Lewis versus Hawkins, which was the bonus fight of the night because it was the extra one that they brought in. What do you think about that fight?
I mean, that one was a little sad to watch. I don't know. It was Derek Lewis just wore himself out within a really short period of time. And then, yeah.
What do you think about the armbar?
Dude, that's wild. To be at that level and not know how to armbar somebody is crazy to me.
I think for some reason I want to think that he was just being a troll because he looked at the side, he was smiling, and then he was like,
you think?
Yeah, because he was grabbing at the wrist, and then he started like, like you know how to finish. You had to not. I mean, you had great guys. Great guy. You had to know how to finish.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right, and he faked me out too.
Because he was smiling, was like, dude, he had to be trolling because he's known for being a troll. Because
yeah, there's so much wrong with that. I mean, the funny thing is, Derek Lewis had no idea how to get out of it either. Apparently,
yeah, he's such a bad. Derek Lewis' ground game is so bad that he doesn't know that he had to tap out. That's how bad his ground game is. He doesn't even know that part. He probably didn't know how to. That's why he was to finish the round because he didn't know how to tap out. Oh, this is when I thought years ago when the referee stops it. Not so much when it's tapping. Usually in my gym, my coach stops it.
Yeah, right.
And it started a different position. Yeah, he had no guard at all in Derek Lewis. Nothing. Whenever he got to the ground. Which is crazy, somebody being relying so much on one weapon.
Right? Yeah. Just the fact he had nothing at all. He was just done. It looked like the old UFC, you know, the very beginning when you had straight boxers going in against grapplers. That's
But yeah. Remind me of James Toney, that was his name. That boxer that went against Randy Couture.
Yeah.
Randy Couture just hit a low single, took him down and choked him out. That's what it reminded me of. But yeah, that's a perfect example of you cannot just be that one-dimensional nowadays. Because this guy coming to kill.
Right. Especially when you're that big, and that slow, and that low cardio. It's not a great combo because, I mean, yeah, after a round and a half, he was just begging to get taken down at that point.
Yeah. Was he twirling at one point too?
Yeah.
He was done after that. Now, heavyweight matchups. Do you think Pereira losing? Do you think this makes up for the matchup between Hawkins versus Pereira? After he was picking on Pereira for so long.
Makes up for?
Yeah, because he was even in the lobby, he was talking shit to Pereira, like, yeah, you pussy, you like he said, I don't speak English, stuff like. He was yelling at him from the lobby, like he was had to be security had to get him out there. But meanwhile, Alex said like, this guy is a coward because I saw him early on. There was no camera around me. I say something to him, he didn't even look at me or nothing. And then he was talking shit about Pereira's mom and stuff like that. I was like, dude, in Brazil, you talk about people's mom, that's a problem. That's personal. So do you think this match, one winning, the other one losing, the interim title match? Do you think this sets up the matchup between them two?
I mean, It would be interesting. Maybe. It'd be good for Hockett, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, talking himself into a fight.
Right.
But do you think, I mean, he has pretty decent repertoire or technique for him to become a title contender without having to talk so much shit, too.
Right. I think he's just trying to make money. I think that's all it is. And he doesn't care, what people think about him. So he's just going to make money. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can have the skills. I mean, yeah, you can have the skills and be a boring fighter. And nobody wants to watch you, even though you win.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, he's definitely not going to be that. He'll make people hate him first.
But yeah. I mean, this one he said, Michelle Obama is a man. The last one before Brittany Griner is a man.
Yeah.
Dude, like this guy, man. What's he gonna say? The next one's gonna be Caitlyn Jenner is a man.
Yeah, right.
Like what? But yeah, that guy is just, he doesn't really, at this point, he doesn't need that. If he was able to be like finished and stuff like that.
I saw a post. Even Donald Trump took his necklace off when he said that.
Damn. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was that cringy that Donald was like, nope, taking that off.
What necklace was that?
After Hockett won, he handed him a necklace. He gave a necklace to Trump, but I don't know what it was.
I guess it was his birthday gift.
Yeah, I guess.
Damn.
That's pretty bad.
I know, man. I said some shit, but not this bad.
Yeah.
He just posts pictures of the Obamas on his social media. He doesn't say about it.
Yeah.
Not that bad. Damn, even Trump, whenever Trump. Another thing that was cringy was the Tyson Fury part segment. But Tyson Fury came out there.
Yeah.
The boxer.
Yeah. There's a big announcement, but I can't tell you what it is.
Yeah.
That was strange. I don't know.
Yeah. I think that had to be a war attrition between Dana White and Tommy Hearns. That has to be. Because remember, Tommy Hearns got signed as one of his athletes. Meanwhile, Tommy Hearns is considered in the boxing world. The big matchup coming up, I don't know when is it going to be, but it's going to be two of the big guys, Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury. A lot of people have wanted to see that fight. But UFC, what they call that? Boxing? UFC boxing or something like that. They are the ones that signed Tyson Fury, one half of the big card. Dana White was one of the guys that was promoting the Netflix fight between Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul. I know who he was promoting. And I know it wasn't Jake Paul because he doesn't get along with Jake Paul in that fight. So, I mean, if he has two big guys that he's promoting, it had to be like a jab, no pun intended, Tommy Hearns for the boxing world. Because, like, dude, don't fuck with me. I will take over your own sport too.
It could be. That's interesting.
Do you see the hat that not Tommy, but Tyson Fury was wearing?
The what?
The hat that he was wearing. He said Trump for prime minister. That's what he said. God, I was joking around with Matt. Like, dude, he'll make everybody drive on the right lane when he goes on faulty. Everybody
Really
drinks
rock their
Coke,
world, man.
gives everybody guns. Like, fuck him. Imagine he just walking around there with a powder wig up there.
Oh my God.
Fuck the palace. Fuck Buckingham
Powdered
Palace.
comb over.
Yeah, dude, he will redo the whole palace. This shit is let's do it all over again. I
Tear
can't
down
imagine.
this queen's picture. Put mine up there.
Oh man, I can't even imagine.
That's wild.
The thing about giving everybody guns and let them figure it out himself, because he goes from being the president of the free world in a big country to being the prime minister of an island. It's micromanaging at this point. It's not so much of micro for him. Brexit. He's going to make Brexit again, but they're already not part of the union anyways. I can't imagine. Oh my god. Yeah, there was something like Trump for prime minister. Oh, that's hilarious.
Make Britain great again.
Oh yeah. What was this Dowdy guy that was like that? I can't remember his name. He had crazy haircut. He was prime minister there. Was it Johnson? Boris Johnson. Remember him? Dude, he was like that. He was like if you mix Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump. Does it look like? Let me show you.
Wow. Yep, I see him. That's
That
crazy.
that was him. He looked like one of the Muppets characters.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like his hair was always fucked up. Wherever he went.
He didn't have time for that.
Yeah. He wanted to be like Winston Churchill. To, but yeah, I can't. That's remind me of like a crazy prime minister. But going back to the UFC 350, Freedom 250, Diego Lopes with BMF energy weighing in twice in 24 hours. Weathering in the storm in round one against a aggressive Steve Garcia, biting down the mouthpiece and securing a dramatic left hook KO in round two. Do you see that picture of him standing on the cage? Dude, that picture was epic. Because he stood on the cage, but it didn't look like it was that cool of a picture when that scene, because whenever they did it was on the side of the like a side profile. But whenever somebody took a picture from behind, from I guess where other people were, but check out this picture. Badass. Why he walk out to Lachona? Why he came over there? Dude, that picture is badass. Top of the cage. What now? Who's next? Are you not entertained? That's the energy. Cowboy guy, Diego Lopes. But yeah, dude, he really brought it. I mean, I thought I was really worried that he was going to lose this fight. This is another instance in which the fight was between two guys. One was Afar, the other was Orthodox. And Steve Garcia, he was Orthodox, and he didn't look like he was able to find his range. But sometimes, whenever Steve Garcia will disengage or step back, he will switch into Orthodox. I noticed that that's what happened in this case with Diego Lopes. When he was stepping back, he stepped into Orthodox, and that's why he got caught with a left hook from Diego Lopes, and he dropped him. Because if you Southpaw, you should don't want to hit in the back of the head with the left hook.
So you're saying Steve is normally southpaw instead of
Yeah,
back into orthodox? Okay, okay.
yeah.
Yep.
Because usually defense is not the same when you switch stance. You're used to defending Orthodox. The angles come from different, and then you're able to step in one way or the other one. You have so much danger of because you're cutting half of your body, but you switch is backwards, so your steps are going to be backwards as well. Whatever you used to starting with 1-2 is going to be 2-1 or 2-3 whenever you switch stance. But whenever he stepped back, I saw as soon as he stepped back, I like no, he stepped right into orthodoxy. Boom! That's why he dropped it with the left hook, which he was waiting for, which is good if you're able to switch stance. Holloway is good with that switching stance, being ambidextrous when it comes to striking, but also when you don't want your leg crossing whenever you're stepping out of the and you don't want to skip back because you don't cover as much distance when you step back rather than switching stance. Switching stance, you cover a lot distance going back. But you have to move out of the center line regardless. If you're stepping back, he's coming towards you. You didn't stay in
Right.
the center line, still getting hit.
Yeah.
Dipping one way or another. Boom. Yeah, whenever he called us, like, oh my God. But yeah, he was eating. I mean, Diego Lopez was walking in and getting hit right, like straight to the face. I said, oh my God, he's going to lose this way because he focused so much on wrestling. DC was talking about that. He focused so much on wrestling because he's in Oklahoma State now, Stillwater. That's what he moved to last 2 or 3 months or so. Being training there. He just put together a cage there for the camp. I mean, and also, who else is there to stop Diego Lopez other than Volk? He's the only guy. I don't know who else can stop him. But he does. I don't think unlike he gets hit a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if this is the instance in which some fighters take like Cowboy. He takes also another Cowboy. But Cowboy Cerrone, he would take a minute or two for him to get used to like warm up to fight, like getting his rhythm going. But once he get his rhythm going, he was just picking you apart. But it catches up to you though.
What that buffer time that yeah.
If somebody's able to time it right, you're gone before your time starts, before you even warm up. And that's the way some people fight.
Yeah,
But
especially if people know to expect that, then yeah, they're going to make you pay for it.
yeah, I don't know if that's what Topuria was doing. Well, he getting some criticism for Armin about he thought that he was spending too much time on the promo part rather than training for the fight. Do you agree with that? Like all this like stuff about putting the flowers on Gaethje.
I mean, I didn't pay enough attention to the promotional stuff beforehand, but
I mean, hindsight's 2020, right? So, I mean, whenever if he would have won, they won't be part of the. They won't say anything about that. All the promos that he did for the fight, they just whenever he lost. I mean, not many people win against Gaethje, so most of them lose, and they lose in devastating fashion as well. Not many people go to the decision against him, so you can know it's not an all be all as far as the reason why somebody loses a fight. He will learn from this fight. Obviously, this first loss. So I had to go back to the drawing board and see what to do because I don't know the extent of the injury still. I haven't looked see what they had said about as far as injury, how long he will be medically suspended for competition. So we shall see. Because he being as for this is a crazy weight class too. Because now the Gish is the champion. What if Holloway try to contend for the title? Because Holloway knocked up Gaethje.
yep. Hey, and it would be a great fight. I don't think anybody would complain about a rematch there.
No, even Gaethje himself, he will won that
Right.
rematch.
Right. Yeah, that'd
Yeah,
be really exciting. That would
yeah,
actually be great.
yeah. Another fight that was I've seen recently was Poirier said he will come out of retirement and trying to go to the trilogy versus Gaethje. So I bet you would. I don't think he can though. Poirier. He's on supplements right now. I don't think he'll be able to he'll be able to go in the testing pool right now. I can't remember what he's working. I think he's working like 185 or something like that. Poirier. But he's saucy. That's what he said. He said, I'm not passing no use on that test right now.
Yeah.
He'll tell you. But yeah, I don't think he'll wanna also he promised his wife that that was it.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean they just have a new kid too.
Mm.
So he's done. But he was open to it. Like I bet you would live for the title. But considering I don't think it's a good idea though. Because I don't think it'd be a good idea because he was the guy that made him contemplate retirement by getting knocked out. You're gonna come out of retirement to go against the same guy. Especially when he's in the hot streak too. Well,
That'd be really hard to get back into that.
yeah. I mean I think he's been out a year now since competing
Yeah.
and going down to 155. I don't think he wanna do that. Life is too nice out of fighting.
That sauce got him thinking though.
Yeah. Yeah, I can take anybody right now. Yeah, but you have to be clean though. Damn. Sign me up for the enhanced games.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen. I have to look at it. There was a like a talk. There was like an interview. Joe Rogan, Max Holloway, and Conor McGregor. They were talking back and forth to each other. And it was like one of those interviews that they did. I saw they did like promo during the fight this weekend, but I did not see the whole interview thing. Conor McGregor just talking at his rockers like, dude. Holloway's like, I've been active. You have been doing nothing. Go, brother. Come on, brother. Come on, brother. It is what it is. But yeah, I think Jerome has this one, this fight.
Yeah.
He was in I haven't looked into it either. I have to do a lot of shit to watch. I watched the interview. He went to the Ariel Hawani show, Conor McGregor, to talk about, he was able to finally talk about his match in contractual stuff like that. I haven't seen what he talked about in there. But he was finally able to talk about, but it took place in one because, like I said, structuring big back then. There used to be pay-per-view points and stuff like that, but now there's no part of the negotiation anymore. How they get paid based off their performers I don't know nowadays. Well, they use for making up for him. I'm not sure if he's talk about that. But back to Diego Lopes. The feather division is absolute fire, and Diego Lopes is sitting right near the top of the gasoline pile. But while the Kishin DC was providing pure theoretical violence and completely different kind of high stakes combat was breaking records out in the Midwest. So let's back up and move back to from the White House lawn and head down to St. Louis because Real American Freestyle 10 is put an absolute showcase of pure grappling dominance. Not just high level talking about some of the matches in St. Louis arena. It was the biggest live gate for REF history, proving the mainstream appetite for elite freestyle wrestling cards. One of the main fights, no matches in there. Still talking about MMA fights, but one of the main matches was Hamza Shemaev, but had his debut at 205 as a catchweight main event. He was able to secure a pinfall over Dylan Dennis in just 44 seconds. Dennis, being the troll that he is, when he got taken down. It was a weird takedown because it's a Russian. He went step behind. He was able to pick the ankle, take him down. And for some reason, Dylan Dennis was trying to secure a guillotine to his back. You have to know that rules for wrestling. You don't go to your back. He got pinned that way.
Really?
Yeah. And then after that, the referee called it off. Like, yeah, the match is over. And then a brawl broke out. Another brawl. What the? Another guy, I don't know if he had to be, because I know he trains with Amir Sayukin, Hansa Shemaev. I don't know if his same crew just jump in there, clear house again. But Dylan Dennis, we say he's one of those guys that bring the worst out of everybody. Because he did
I
the same
think
with
so.
Khabib, another
Yeah.
Russian.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, yeah. He's just a knucklehead, you know?
Yeah, how do they keep getting matches and stuff like that? That's no question.
That I don't know. That is impressive that he still gets matches after doing stuff like that.
I don't think it was 205. What's the catch weight for this? I don't think Dylan Dennis was that big.
I didn't think so either.
Another match was Amir Sayukin was able to do a tech fall. He's showing absolute positional dominance over Tony Ferguson. Oh my God, another loss for Tony Ferguson. He ended it quickly in the second round with 10-0 tech fall. Another match of the night was King O'Toole versus Beksad Adumarakhmonov. No, Adurakhmonov. He was putting an absolute clinical scramble, transition, and high-paced wrestling. By the way, King O'Toole is one of the disciples of Ben Askren when it comes to funky. No, Ben Askren's done funky. King O'Toole is known as Funky 2.0. He trained under Ben Askren at the Askren Wrestling Academy. And he went to the same college as Ben Askren in Missouri. I think one-time national champion, five-time All-American. King O'Toole. Really, really good. In his last match, he blew his knee like early in the season, but he's able to make it to the finals, rest of the finals. It's a really close match. And so a legend was awarded an honorary RAF Legends Championship in the Fox Nation broadcast was Dan Gable. It's an icon of when it comes to American wrestling. He was able to get honor during that event. But yeah, it is good that they're selling that much as far as tickets. Because I mean, people are interested. Because at first I thought, this is gonna be one off, and this is gonna crash as far as like wrestling promotion for freestyle. It is good to keep American wrestlers active, not just international level, because it's hard for them to get other competition unless you become a starter. And considering that the Olympics is gonna be 2028, it's gonna be here in the United States. It's good to keep them active.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Also, I forgot to mention Jordan Burroughs, the most gold medal internationally won American, just signed with RAF. I think it's last week. So he's going to be competing in RAF as well. For some reason, I thought he was retired. He did a lot of commentating. He had his own wrestling academy in, I think, Philadelphia, Penn University. But it looks like he's going to be competing again. But that would be nice to see him competing back again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I feel like that's a pretty good platform if you wanted to do something still, it's, well, I mean, like guys like Tony Ferguson, he doesn't need to get beat up like he does in MMA. Like, just, yeah, some wrestling, great. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine. Pretty, it's, yeah, it just seems like a great platform for that sort of uh, thing. You could see some older legends going at it again.
Oh yeah. Especially being Askren, another guy that's going back competing. It's good to see them exposed too. And some of them giving back to sport, other ones still competing. They still have the age for competition. You have the risk of getting injured is lower unless somebody pushes you off the stage. I think was Harman pushed freaking Uriah Faber when he was competing off the stage. He was pushing off the stage. Like, dude, you need to calm down, man. Even Uriah Faber was laughing whenever that happened. Because he pushes toward like the commentators on that. This is not WWE. People push people into the freaking commentators table. Considering that the guy that one of the main producer, I think is Eric Bischoff, and the main sponsor for the event, comes from the wrestling background, like WCW back in the day. He has to love that shit, kind of shit. Controversy, especially the brawls. Yeah, it's like, bro. But there's no money you can make out of Dylan Dennis. Hansa Shemaev, yeah, but Dylan Dennis, you don't want to bank on that guy. What are the chances he pull out of a match that you already set up? He's one of those guys that's more likely to pull out of a fight. You don't want to build your business around that guy. I think the next one, let me look up. I think RAF 11 is going to be overseas. This is the first one that's going to be no, it's not the next one. Next is going to be in Wisconsin. There's one that's coming on. It's Merab. It's going to be overseas. But next is going to be 11 is going to be color commentators Amar Sayukin. That's the
Really?
main event. Yeah. And then the coming event being Askren versus Bella Muhammad. Yeah. When is that one? Let me look it up. This one that's coming overseas. I know, right? It's in Georgia. 7-Eleven.
Really? It's gonna confuse people.
Yeah. Real American Wrestling. Talk about Atlanta,
In
Georgia.
Georgia.
Atlanta, Georgia. No, Georgia. Wow. So they have Merab Billy versus Henry Cejudo.
Interesting.
So let me pull the card here. I can't remember if they already made that one before, but they pull out. I think Merab was the one that pull out. No, Cejudo was the one that pull out. And Merab, they try to offer him another match versus Bo Bassett, but he turned it down. This is going to be interesting. Carl Snyder versus Chip Sadulaev, that Russian team. They have gone against each other. And I think Carl Snyder only beat him one time. Mr. Robin Tug, Carl Snyder is going against the Russian tank. It'll be interesting because he was trying to compete Sadulaev, but he wasn't able to because he was able to get his visa in time in last world, I think. Because he was able to compete. He was able to compete in the Olympics as a unattached because Russia, they were having some conflict and geopolitical shit. He was able to. So he went unattached. He was to compete, but for Worlds, he was able to get his visa in time. He was able to get a pro, so he was able to compete in the last World. I don't know who this is, but at this point, he's trying to feed arm on anybody right now. I'm sorry, you can because dude, when is he going against Covington? Because he has another one against Covington after this one. Saint Rutherford. He's another famous American wrestler. He dynamite for the cruiserweight championship versus Vladimir got another Real Georgia. Now I'm not even trying to say his last name. Now this will be interesting. Gino Petrashvili. He was a Olympic silver medalist in the 2020 Olympics. He lost against Gail Stevenson. He's really, really good wrestler. I think he won world. That the following year or not. And now Jake Varner, he's a 2012 London Olympics gold medalist. And he is one of the assistant coach for Penn State currently. But it'll be interesting, these two going against each other. I think he competed at 215. I can't remember what Jake Varner competed in the Olympics. Now, my girlfriend, Helen Morales, competing as well. Apparently, my takedowns were not good enough. That's why she broke up with me. Now, this is interesting. Real Woods is scheduled for this fight and for this match, but he pulled out of the final X for the world team this year for that spot. He has some knee issues currently. They might have to change this later on. Depends how it comes out. Because some of these guys, they're still competing here, but still trying to compete for the world team spot. Like Kyle Dake, Zane Rutherford is coming back as well, competing for the world team. Another guy that wrestled recently was David Carr. He's also in there, trying to get a spot for the world team. But this is a good way to keep him active. Because he's trying to make the world team, and also he's a featherweight champion in this organization. Helen Morales is also in the world team. I mean, it is good that they get exposure within the U.S. population, even though not many watches it. But it'd be good they did a different platform, so be able to get more eyes on this sport. But yeah, I don't have anything else right now. Do you want to close out?
Yeah, thank you guys for listening. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. Give us a listen on Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and YouTube. Give us a follow on Instagram and let us know what you like, what you don't like. And I'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for tuning in to the Mad Matters podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and YouTube, so you never miss an episode. Drop us a review, share with your training partners, and keep rolling on and off the mat. Until next time, keep fighting, keep learning, keep growing.